we have seen a surge in demand in 2026 from website owner operators who are concerned with the website accessibility litigation that is ongoing in the United States. And what I frequently see is many of these website owners are completely unaware that they can be sued over website accessibility. So, of course, they want to make their websites ADA compliant. They don't want to be sued or sued again. And so we're getting a lot of requests. And if I didn't mention it, this is primarily coming from restaurant owners and then Shopify and other e-commerce store owners. So I've got four of the recent emails, messages with me on the screen. So we're going to go through some of them now. Hey there, we've been hit with a lawsuit on our website and have done all the scanners and have fixed most, if not all of the issues, but would like a professional look as well. Can you guys give us a quote on an audit and remediation? Yes, we can provide a quote. Another email. Hello, we are planning on building a new website in the coming months. Can you give us a quote on what a web accessibility audit would cost and what it would look like, especially for a brand new website? Yes, we can do that. Another email. We operate a Shopify e-commerce site and are currently working to bring our website into full accessibility compliance with ADA and WCAG 2.2 AA. At the moment, we use an accessibility widget, so I'll stop there. Do not use a website accessibility widget. It does not help you. It does not make your website ADA compliant. It does not make your website WCAG conformant. In fact, it can have the opposite effect of what you want it to have, because there are some plaintiffs' law firms that specifically look for websites with widgets installed. Continuing on. But we understand that true compliance requires a deeper review and remediation beyond overlays. We are looking to engage a third-party accessibility expert to help us evaluate our current site, identify gaps, and provide guidance through remediation and validation. Please let us know what services you offer, next steps, and any information you need from us to provide for a proposal. All right, so the primary service here is an audit, because we need to identify all of the accessibility issues on your website. And then you can either take on the fixes in-house. Most clients do. Increasingly, we're seeing requests for remediation from our side. But the next step is to fix the issues. And then we have to validate the issues. As this emailer gets at, is the validation. We need to validate to make sure the issues are indeed resolved. And we do this even when we offer the remediation or we fulfill the remediation. We do this to be thorough and make sure that the issues have indeed been resolved. And one other service I highly recommend is user testing. So with user testing, here it's going to be a professional who is blind or visually impaired. They are going to test your website with a screen reader. You have documented evidence of this testing, and this occurs after remediation. This is very valuable documentation that I highly, highly recommend you get, especially if you are concerned with this very abusive litigation that is ongoing inside the United States. One thing to keep in mind is that plaintiffs' lawyers are looking for ways to sue you, not the other way around. So you want to make sure that you are proactive and that you take the necessary steps to go ahead and reduce your risk as low as possible. One prospective client recently asked me, why don't you guarantee that I won't be sued again? Well, because I don't control the plaintiff's lawyers. If they decide to sue you, I can't stop them from suing you. But what we can do is make sure that you have zero accessibility issues and that you have all of the documentation in place. And what can happen is plaintiffs' law firms can be very casual and reckless at times, where they don't even know the accessibility issue that they're claiming. They don't even understand it themselves. And then where they might even send a demand letter after the fact. So you have to keep in mind that they are, this is very much an industry for them. And so they are sending out, many of these most active plaintiffs' law firms are suing many, many website owners. So they're not paying attention to detail. So that's why there's no guarantee that we can prevent a lawsuit from happening. But what we can guarantee is accessibility on our end and making sure that you know all of the accessibility issues. And then from there, also, if there are any issues outstanding, you know which issues exist. Sometimes website owners go ahead and accept the fact that their third-party integration presents an accessibility issue. So at least in that case, you know what is present. So that is to answer that email. And then one more email, and this is actually from someone who is international. They're not even in the United States. Hello, we are, and I've blanked this out for just privacy reasons, and run a couple of US-facing e-commerce stores. We would like to receive a quote for an ADA audit to help us understand where we are falling short in ADA compliance. Thanks in advance. So yes, this is not only affecting those inside of the United States, but also those website owners who are international as well. So this is happening. This has been happening for nearly a decade, but I think more and more website owners are coming to the realization that yes, you can be sued, and even if you are sued, you can be sued again. So what I always tell clients when we're discussing strategy and risk, look, if you've already been sued, there's not really, most of the times there's not anything you can do about that other than try to get the best settlement possible practically. But if that is the case, let's make it a one and done, make it to where it never happens again, and go ahead and take care of this ASAP. So there's so much here. I do have an ADA compliance course if you are interested in training your team on the issues that are most likely to come up in a complaint filed in court. I have that course. I will link to it in the description. Also, you can reach out to me for accessibility services. We have helped so many clients with audits, and that's where you're going to have a detailed breakdown of all of the accessibility issues. Increasingly, we're being asked about WCAG 2.2 AA as the standard. You saw that in one of these emails. A lot of clients opt for WCAG 2.1 AA, but if you want to go ahead and take it to 2.2, you can do that as well. So if you need help with website accessibility and reducing your risk of being sued, we are happy to help. You can email me at chris@accessible.org, KRIS@accessible.org. I will also include a contact link in the description, as well as a link to the ADA compliance course. I highly recommend this course. Also, there's the WCAG course, which trains your team on the technical standards. Both courses are available at adacompliance.net. This this is happening. This is real. It's not just happening to large companies. This is happening to small businesses. I have seen very small restaurants that you wouldn't think would be a part of this that have been targeted in litigation. So this has been happening for years. We've seen it happen over and over again. The ADA compliance course is data driven so that you take care of the issues that are most commonly claimed in complaints filed in court by the most active plaintiffs law firms. And there are 40 to 50 plaintiffs law firms. So, and even at that, they realize there's money here. So many of them are aggressively filing. So you want to make sure to be proactive with this and be aggressive with this and not wait on it, because there's a very real possibility that you can be sued and sued again. I've wrote about this in the past. I will include a link to that article where I talk about a website owner, and this happens all the time. This is not uncommon, but a website owner who was sued and then it happened again. And so that's much, much worse than being sued once, because of the first time you're aware of it and you want to take care of it as soon as possible. So I will include links to all of these resources in the description, but the point is to take action now. And even if you don't go through accessible.org, if you use the accessibility tracker platform and upload your audit report in Excel spreadsheet format to the platform, you can prioritize by the issues that are the riskiest issues. So that is very, very helpful, regardless of whether or not you go through accessible.org. So I'll include a link to accessibility tracker in the description as well.